Hello, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another live stream Tuesday. And I hope that you had a great weekend, that your week has started well as well. And it seems like at the beginning of tonight's live stream, we are going to be quite well lit. Hopefully that'll last, but we will see. Anyway, let me get you guys up on screen and see who is in the house tonight. Whenever I click on something at the beginning of a live stream, I always wonder whether it's going to work because I always forget to set things up, or at least I think I forget to set things up, but then I realise that I have set them up. I have set up that screen capture for the live chat room, so hello to you guys in there. We had, Neil just going through quickly moderating, but we have Vince, Big B8 Celeste, Bob, Billy, Carl going through there as well, and it's going through a little bit quickly, Shawnee, Allison, and then Chant of the North as well, Sarah, Joni, hello guys, thank you for joining me, and the moderators who are in that live chat room, let me give a big shout out to them at the beginning of the live stream because they do such a fantastic job. And you're about to get three going through: Neil, Carla, Susan and Dennis going through that live chat room. And as you would have seen, they are in blue. They have a wrench next to their names. That means that they are moderators, and a huge thank you to them and Laurie as well, who do such a fantastic job throughout the live streams. Right, let's now get the names of my patrons up on screen as well, because as I always say, they make this possible in the first place, not only the live streams, but every single video that I do, the analysis videos, and the cover videos that I made many years ago now. I actually started out on Patreon, and this is the thing about the cover videos. I used to do one of those a month. And I can't remember who commented over on Patreon, but somebody says, oh, do you still do the riff of the week? But I did that riff of the week for 100 weeks in a row. It's quite similar to making a new video every night for over 2 years, which is another thing that I did, which is a little bit crazy. But yeah, I used to do a riff of the week every Sunday, and I did that for 100 weeks. So there are 100 riffs, but actually, towards the end of that riff of the week segment, it's quite a long segment. What's that? That's almost 2 years as well. I'm just figuring it out now. It's just under 2 years of doing riffs. But once I finished that, I then started to get a little bit more traction on YouTube, and I think I had 1,500 subscribers, and it was around that kind of level for, I don't know, maybe 8 years, maybe a little bit less than that. But anyway, so I was doing a new cover video every month and doing riffs of the week. So that meant that I was doing 5 videos a month. And at the moment, I think I'm doing 5, if you're including live streams, a week. Yeah, so it has increased quite a lot, but as you guys know, it's because there's been a little bit more attention, especially over the last few years. And I did say over on Patreon that when I was doing 5 videos a month, it was very easy to keep up with the comments and the messages and the emails, everything that came in, because it had been at a steady rate for many years, whereas as soon as things started to bump up into the kind of thousands and then the tens of thousands, and now the hundreds of thousands of subscribers, which is great, don't get me wrong, but the workload does increase quite a lot. So I don't have time to get back into the cover videos at the moment. Unfortunately, all the riffs of the week, but we still have time to do the live streams, of course, and the other videos that I do on the channel. Mentioning the other videos on the channel, later on this week, I'm going to be chatting with Phil Palmer, and we're going to be taking a look at his performance with Eric Clapton at Nebworth, where Eric broke a string and then Phil had to fill in for the solo section. So we're going to be taking a look at that, breaking things down with Phil, which would be great to just touch base with him again after the interview that we had last year. And interestingly, a bit of breaking news, which I mentioned over on Patreon last night in my update. And that's the thing about Patreon, I still keep everybody updated there. Even if there's not a video on YouTube, I am on Patreon every night. So yeah, just that update that with Phil. Phil was in a performance that we looked at recently of George Michael, and Phil was playing acoustic guitar in the background. And I mentioned about, because we did isolate the vocals on that particular performance, about George Michael's vocal and the backing singers and how well they blend. So after that video, I had a message from Shirley Lewis over on Instagram, and Shirley was one of George Michael's backing singers. And she was very complimentary about the video that I did, you know, which I appreciate a lot, her kind of even watching it and then commenting on it as well. And actually doing one of those story videos on her Instagram in order to publicize my video. So a huge thank you to her for that. But she then requested maybe a couple of tracks, Freedom or Father Figure, to take a look at, because that is just Shirley singing with George in the studio. That's how they recorded it. So she requested that video, and then I just, you know, we were exchanging messages, and I said back to her, I think it would be cool, you know, to look at one of those songs, but to get her input on it as well, probably similar to what I'm going to be doing with Phil later on this week, but to get the vocalists' input on the performance and how they approached it and what George wanted from the performance and what Shirley did with the performance, because she has mentioned how, you know, George was great at explaining how to blend the sound well and to get the voices to match up well. So, I mean, that's going to be great. That's one of those that, yeah, Shirley agreed that, yeah, we'll get together in the future, just do, you know, a Google Meets call, something like that, and we'll have an analysis video on George Michael with Shirley, who was actually on the recording and working with George in the studio. So, yeah, that'd be great to have that video as a vocal analysis video, which I don't think I've done before, where the singer that we're listening to has been with me. We've done it with guitarists in the past, but not with a vocalist. So I'm looking forward to that, getting something a little bit different on the channel. Obviously, we've done vocal analysis videos, but never with the person that we're actually going to be listening to. So yeah, looking forward to that. A bit of breaking news. I mean, that only happened yesterday or the day before. I lose track of the days, but something else for the future. So it's going to be Phil Palmer. Of course, Shirley said to say hi to Phil, because, you know, they were in that performance with George Michael that we looked at. So yeah, great to touch base with Phil, but also just to, you know, branch out and find great singers like Shirley that can come on the channel and, you know, just educate us collectively about what was going on, but give us a little bit more insight into the performances, because that's what I love about doing, you know, the analysis videos. We're just jumping into it a little bit more and seeing what we can see and what we can hear in the particular performance that we look at. So yeah, that'll be really interesting to do in the future. As I always say, I'll keep you guys in the loop over on Patreon as to how things are progressing, when we get a date in order to do that. But yeah, the focus for this week is going to be with Phil Palmer a little bit later on. And as always, I'll keep you guys in the loop about that. So for tonight's live stream, we have a pick roulette, of course, coming up later on. We'll probably do, if we do hit the pick roulette likes goal, which is set for tonight at 350 likes. So if you can leave a thumbs up as you come through the door, that would be much appreciated to get us closer to that target. But we are going to be having a pick roulette later on tonight, and I think probably a Phil jam in there somewhere. We're working our way through the list that Joe has sent me, and we've got through the jazz fusion backing tracks, and I think we're still in the prog rock tracks from memory. I can't remember how many there were of those, but I'll have to keep a track of it. But I know that at least the message is closer to the top of the inbox, because I made sure I did that on the last live stream. So anyway, I can see that there have been some donations, and I just saw the green thing going through. I think that was Orlando with a donation there. But before I reference the most recent one, let's get into the one that Paul made, and that was at 7:31 a.m. And the good thing about the live streams now is that the donations stay on the screen when I go live instead of all disappearing like they used to do. So that's good. I can see that Paul donated at 7:31 this morning, so thank you for that, Paul. And the message was, spike those likes and have fun, all y'all. OSK, which stands for Orlando's sidekick, and then Orlando himself came in with a $5 donation at 6:37 p.m. So thank you for that. And the message is, I may be late. Spike the likes. You got me, Paulie? Question mark with lots of thumbs up. So thank you for that, Orlando. And let's have a look at the likeometer, because we haven't got that up on screen yet, and it's not very centralized. Let me move that over a little bit. It's 207 is where we are at so far with our thumbs up, so you guys can keep a little eye on that number. Let's see if maybe we can get a spike of the likes now. At 17 minutes past midnight in the UK. We're aiming for 350, so we'll keep an eye on that. Right, I think somebody just did a double click, because sometimes a like goes and then disappears. Oh, and then we've got a few clicks that have happened the right way. So thank you guys for that spike. 210. Right, back to that super chat window, because Orlando, said, I may be late, spike the likes. You got me, Paulie. So great idea there. And I mean, saying Paulie reminds me of Rocky, and he always... Well, I mean, Paulie was an interesting character. I don't know if you've watched the Rocky movies, but I've mentioned before about Rocky, Rocky 2, Rocky 3, Rocky 4, then Rocky 5, which I wasn't too sure about. In fact, I think I've probably only seen that a couple of times. I just tend to watch 1 to 4 quite a lot. Rocky Balboa was good as well. And I didn't really get into the Creed franchise. I think I saw maybe the first Creed movie. Maybe there's been a Creed 2 and a Creed 3. I'm not sure. But yeah, I tend to just go for the Rocky 1 to 4 whenever I'm going through those Rocky movies. But yeah, Paulie, which was, I think I'd probably say it. When I say it, it sounds like I'm saying poorly, like you're not very well. So I don't know how to say it in an American accent or in the way that Rocky says it. So Paulie, it's not going to work. I can't do accents, unfortunately. So anyway, yeah, interesting character, because there was always kind of, it felt like he wanted to get a job all the time on the docks, collecting up money, but Rocky never kind of gave him that job. He wanted him to work his own way through things, and then Rocky ended up working in the meat factory anyway, but then things got a lot better. So anyway, let's not talk about Rocky too much. I have seen the films a lot of times, and generally what will happen is, when I used to be about to get back into training, and maybe at the beginning of an 8 or 12 week kind of segment that I would do, or block, as a lot of people refer to it as, I would watch at least one Rocky movie, maybe Rocky 4, and then I'd have the Rocky 4 soundtrack when I'd be working out, so to get motivated for exercising. But obviously haven't done that in quite a long time because of my arm. And quick arm update. Now, the interesting thing is, I think I'm at this crossover point with my arm where the tendon, fingers crossed, maybe after... I mean, I did the injury in October, maybe into November 2021, and we're now in 2023. So anyway, I know that when I read up on the internet, they said tendons take a long time to heal, and that is definitely true in my case. So yeah, 2021, I did the injury, and I think now it might be the case, and I'm waiting for the next couple of days to find out whether this is true or not, but it might be the case that the tendon, fingers crossed, feels like it might have healed. And the only reason that I say that is because I was attempting to do some kind of gardening. I'm not very good at gardening, but anyway, I tried to do some gardening the other day. And when I say that, I mean for like 45 minutes, because I don't have a lot of time to do gardening and stuff, but I felt, right, let's get outside, let's do something, because it's been so cold recently that you just haven't been able to go outside, because it's been like -4 and -7, but it was okay to go outside. So I went outside, decided to do a little bit of gardening, which, I thought it would be quite a good test of my arm, because it's not going to be intense, but I can just maybe move some earth, see what happens. And today, what I have got is what I would class as classic muscle ache in my right bicep, but also a little bit in my left bicep. And I know that before, if I'd done anything like that, like just moving something, I would feel it in my tendon. But I don't feel it in the tendon, I feel it in the muscle, which makes, maybe this is all conjecture, probably not right word. Maybe this is all just wishful thinking, but in my mind, if there was something wrong with the tendon would be hurting because that's taken all the strain rather than the muscle. But I'm hoping that the weight has gone through the tendon and the tendon's fine, and now it's the muscle that is trying to recover. It feels like a classic, right in the joint, like when you've exercised, done a bicep workout, you feel it in the joint because the end of the muscle is the part that has been stressed, the bit that connects to the tendon. And I mean, with my tendon, it was the tendon kind of around the elbow that was the problem, not the tendon connecting to the bicep or anything like that. So it feels like, the aching that I've got is in the joint. And as long as it's away from my elbow, I'll take that all day. So what I'm probably going to do is, because it feels like muscle ache or DOMS, delayed onset of muscle soreness, going back to my sports science background, but it feels like that. So I'm going to have a protein shake tonight, which will then help the muscle to heal itself and then become stronger. It is interesting that after so long, like a year and almost 2 months, 3 months, maybe 4 months. After so long, I think because I've not been doing really anything apart from my physiotherapy on the right arm, because I've not been doing anything such as shifting a little bit of weight here and there, I'm talking about like soil, which didn't weigh a lot, but obviously it was enough. It's amazing that it feels like that has been a workout for my right arm because obviously the muscle has atrophied and my left arm I've still been using normally, so my left arm doesn't ache as much. But actually, there is a little bit in there, and the promising sign is that it's in the same place on this arm, the arm where there's nothing wrong with the tendon, as it is on this arm. And even being able to hold my arm out like this, I wouldn't have been able to do before. So, fingers crossed, we will see. And, it has been a very long story, but if it's getting to the point now where my tendon is fine with lifting a little bit of weight, by no means am I talking about doing a workout, but, just maybe half a kilo or something like that, then that's great because it means then I can work up from that point. And eventually, once you work up to half a kilo, a couple of kilos, a few kilos, then you're now in the process of being able to get back into exercising, which is definitely something that I am overdue doing and very much looking forward to, especially, talking about Rocky, getting motivated, all that kind of stuff, looking forward to potentially maybe getting back to that. I'm hoping that maybe in a couple of months, I'm still obviously thinking about, I don't want to go backwards. It's been like, a year and 3 months of making sure that I don't aggravate the tendon because, if you injure it again, I know how long it takes to then recover from it again. So I'm making sure that I don't do that. So maybe a couple of months, we will see. And then maybe I get into some very light exercise. But fingers crossed, next couple of days, I will see how the bicep is, how the arm feels. But it feels like the right kind of thing. The right, I was going to say, like, the right soreness, but muscle soreness kind of in the joint of my arm rather than kind of in between my forearm and my hand and the elbow, because that's where the tenderness was before, and always when I'd kind of just do that, and that's where I would feel that movement. But now, that's fine. But I don't want to tempt fate too much. I will touch wood. That's what we say here. Touch wood to make sure that if you say something that kind of tempts fate, then that gets you out of it. So anyway, we will see what happens. We will get back into the live stream rather than the update. But because it's been so long, I thought, I'll let you guys know, because if it is the case that it's on the mend, then it's been a long time coming. Anyway, let's get I think we've got everything up on screen, but the donations tab as well, because I know that there have been some donations, but I do think it's important you know the percentage splits. And as I always say, you don't have to donate. Just watching is great. Maybe hit that thumbs up. That would be great as well. And subscribe if you want to. Of course, subscribing is free and you can cancel your subscription at any time. So if you want to click on that subscribe button, it means that you will get notified if you hit the bell for every video that I do, every live stream. And it is important as well to mention that sometimes when I do videos that are a little bit different, like the interview videos and the slightly different analysis videos in the future, you'll get notified for those as well. So yeah, if you want to get those notifications, make sure you are subscribed. And let me give a plug of the mug, because we didn't have that, where we had the donation, of course, from, Paul. Always, we have a little spike of the likes. Orlando, these donations, Orlando and Paul are the double act, but Paul is now Orlando's sidekick. We had that confirmed in the past, but that is the spike the likes it has on the back. But I was going to say, this is the live stream Tuesday mug. It actually says it on that, so specific to this particular day. If you want to get your hands on any of the merchandise, click on the tray underneath this video or click on the link in the description below. There's a spring.com link there if you want to be taken to the store and you don't have the tray underneath this video. Also, there's a PayPal link in the description below as well, because PayPal takes between 3 and 5%, whereas YouTube takes between 35 and 45%. So obviously it's up to you how you want to do things, but just so you know where your donations go and what the percentage splits are. Right. Let's try to keep organised. Almost midnight here in the UK, and let's reference tonight's cover video. It is between In My Dreams, and I think we had that last time as well. I think on the live streams, sometimes we have the same cover that wasn't chosen in the previous live stream, then rolling over to the next live stream to then take on another cover. And tonight's other cover is You Know My Name. So those, I can see that You Know My Name has 51% of the vote at the moment. So if you want to hear that one, then click on that one. And if you want to hear In My Dreams, a bit of Dokken, then click on that one in order to maybe sway the vote. We will see. Right, we have the pick roulette coming up later on. Quick shout out for the Wings of Pegasus supporters group over on Facebook. The reason that I mentioned that is because before the pick roulette, we have the pictures, and we do have a couple of those tonight, and that's where over on the supporters group you can upload pictures too, and then I get linked to those by Laura and Vince and Carla sometimes as well. So thank you guys for that. But we will have a couple of those pictures later on. So I'll mention that again. Wings of Pegasus supporters group. That's what you want to type in. If you are a Facebook user, head over there, join in with the group, and you can join in the conversation between live streams, because the live chat room continues over there. We have the, the after chat party, but the post-stream party, we can also call it. But Vince used to host that over on the Wings of Pegasus supporters group on Facebook, but now it is Bob who hosts the after show party over there. I always kind of forget what it's called, but I'm just going to call it whatever I think of at the time. I know that it's more of an official name now because we've been doing these live streams for so long, but the after stream party, the after show chat, head over there on that particular page. There are sometimes Zoom calls as well, which we have referenced on the live streams in the past, so you can get involved on that side of things on that page as well. Right, now, let me get into the donations that happened over on PayPal, because we do address every single donation during the live streams that have happened at any point, even between the live streams. So I just want to say thank you to Kim, who donated £10. So thank you for that, Kim. Actually, at the end of the last live stream, let me just click on this. Orlando donated right at the end and said, bye everyone. I don't think I referenced that. Maybe I did. And then Jan donated 19 Norwegian kroner with a thumbs up. So yeah, these happen right at the end of the live stream. Usually I'm logging off or stopping the live stream at that particular point. So when they do come in very late, obviously I can't reference them until the next live stream. But thank you for those ones in that last live stream. And yes, Kim donated £10, so thank you for that, Kim. And the message was, hi Phil, congrats on hitting 288,000 onwards and upwards. Most people don't have memories before roughly 3 to 4 years old. What's your earliest childhood memory and what emotions does evoke when you recall it? Hugs from Canada, Kim. So thank you for that. And I think the memory that I have, or the only one that I have that I know, was when I was really young, maybe 5 years of age, something like that, was when we were moving in to our new house in Maidenhead, and we just moved from a very, very small house in Maidenhead, and now we had a slightly bigger house. Not big by any stretch of the imagination, but it was, yeah, a little bit bigger. And I was, I think, 5 years of age, somewhere around that. And I remember, and it's the only memory that I have of this, or of moving house, I think because as a kid, I knew that we were about to, or at least I understood in some, or on some kind of level, that we were about to be somewhere else from where we had been. And obviously that's, kicked my memory into gear, that I remember the fact that my life was now going to be in a different place. And yeah, I remember that I was with my grandparents in the car, and we were driving up to the house, and they were kind of just pointing out which one it was. And for some reason, I don't know whether this is true or not, but I kind of feel like something was happening with the curtains. Maybe my mum was putting up curtains in the front room when we were driving up to the house. When I say driving up to the house, it didn't have its own driveway. I mean, it was just like, it was semi-detached houses kind of all in a row, but it was pointed out which one was the one that we, were going to. So when we're outside, I could then see my mum putting the curtains up. I think she was doing that, and I haven't actually brought this up with my parents to know if that is something they were doing, or they were likely to be doing, at the point of, me with my grandparents. I don't know even why. Maybe we'd left the previous house, and that's why my grandparents were getting involved with it. I don't know. So anyway, this was something that I remember, and I know that I must have been young in order to remember that. And I'll have to actually check that this is even true or not, because I know that, in my family, it's a little bit of a running joke, and a little bit tongue-in-cheek, but a running joke that my sister sometimes says she remembers things that happened before she was even born. So, I don't know whether that's a possibility. Maybe she was kind of floating around somewhere in the air. I'm talking about, being years before, potentially. So she'd say, oh yeah, I remember that. It's like, well, that was 5 years before you were born. And then she'll say, oh, maybe it's not the thing that I'm thinking of. So I think that's the earliest memory that I have, and it must have been, I don't think I have anything of, being 3 or 4. But then I guess if I was 5, or maybe I was 4, I don't know. I have to check with my parents. I can't remember, obviously, exactly the details of it. But thank you for that, Kim. And let's jump into the next one, which was from Nicole. So thank you for that, Nicole. And that was for £10 and 1 pence a donation. So thank you for that. The message is, hi, Phil. You're an English musician who cannot be forgotten. I join everyone in celebrating you. Have a nice week, Phil. Rock time ever. Or rock time forever. So thank you for that, Nicole. And let's jump into the next one, which came in from Tammy. So thank you for this, Tammy. And we're getting a little bit more up to date now. This is at 20 to 11, so a couple of hours ago. Tammy donated £10. Thank you for that. The message is, hi Phil, what do you think is the most important aspect of a performance? So, I mean, there are so many aspects to performing, but I'm going to approach this from an artistic point of view. As an artist myself, or as a musician, kind of in general, I think the most important aspect of any performance is for that performance to be something that, you know, you enjoy. That is something that is artistically true of you, that you're doing it with your integrity intact. You're making the music that you want to make, because I think that if you start to perform music that you don't enjoy but you think people might like, I mean, this is probably more the case of signed artists on major labels who find that their sound is being changed by the label because they want to get a particular, you know, say that, the dance area, the dance music area of our label is really taking off. So we want to take you, who used to do, you know, rock or hard rock, we want to have a little bit more of a dance element in there. So we're going to start throwing in a little bit of drum machine kind of sound and synthesizers, more synthesizers, and then you find that this isn't the music that I wanted to make and want to make. So this is why I think it's important that you just make the music that you want to, that, you know, obviously feeds your soul, because then when you perform it, if people like it, then, you know, that's great. But if they don't like it, then you're enjoying yourself. And I think if you enjoy yourself on stage, that is such an important aspect of the performance, because people can tell when you're not enjoying yourself on stage. If you're having fun, I think people just have a natural propensity to lock into the deeper emotions of any artist on stage. They can just lock into it. They think, oh, this person's having a good time. So it puts them at ease. And that's the main thing you want your audience to be, is at ease. If they're on edge, then it's not going to be a nice crowd to play to. And I mean, how many times have you seen an awards show where the audience are not into the performance because the audience isn't... It's not the audience of the band. The band have been booked for an awards show that is sometimes nothing to do with music or appreciation. It might be, for, I don't know, the best insurance company for the year, but they've got a band in who are well known, but it's not maybe the style of music that is going to appeal to this kind of audience. And I mean, it always makes it worse when the audience is sat down around tables and you've got that massive distance between the people and the band. And generally, the stage isn't set up to be a live music venue anyway. So you get this really awkward kind of situation. I mean, that's an example of something that can happen when, take it away from the setting of being, an award show, and now say that it is a proper gig, but the band aren't having a good time. That then, transcends not only the feeling of the band, but I think to the audience personally, because I've seen bands that you think, well, they're not really into this, or they start arguing amongst each other on stage, and you think, oh, yeah, it becomes awkward to watch when people are arguing, or they're just kind of not rehearsed, or they're annoyed at each other because they did something different to how they rehearsed it. And, you can tell that some people in the band aren't really into the music. Because if you were, this is the other thing, if you are into your music, you rehearse it and you want to make it as good as possible for the audience and for you to put across your artistic expression. And because you have that passion for it, it means that the hours that you spend practicing it is not like work, because you want to do it. It is your sound, it's your expression. So, I mean, it has that knock-on effect of, once you get your artistic integrity down and you enjoy it, everything else falls into place with live performances, but just with your music and bringing it to a level where you can communicate it accurately to the audience. So I think that's a huge part of it. But anyway, Tammy, thank you for that donation. And Karen donated £10 as well. Thank you for that, Karen. It was a straight up donation. And was that another one that came through from Karen? It was just a few minutes after. So Karen donated twice there. So that was two $10 donations. Thank you for that, Karen. And if that second one was an accident, don't worry about it. We can organise that through PayPal. It's very simple to sort that out. Thank you as well to Kim, who donated £5.76. So thank you again for that, Kim. The message is, hi Phil, what were you trying to grow in your garden, or were you mowing and trimming, etc.? Do you grow vegetables and or flowers? If so, which ones? So I wasn't growing anything. It was just that over the last 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks, it's just been freezing temperatures and we haven't been able to go outside at any point. So yeah, going out into the garden, at least for a little bit of time, I thought was a good idea. Get a bit of fresh air because it's now above freezing. And I have to say it was maybe 7 or 8 degrees. So it was a little bit better. Like I said, it's just, going out for 45 minutes, something like that. And I mean, with the garden, anything that I can help to do to make the garden a little bit better, then I will do. But I think this was just a case of trying to break up the earth because it was frozen. It means that I don't know anything about gardening, as you can tell the way that I'm talking. But the soil was kind of obviously frozen, but then it was damp, which means it turns into like a clay thing or a clay substance, which isn't good, or at least to my understanding, it's not good to try and just put whatever you're trying to grow, say that it's grass or flowers or anything, on just frozen ground. You have to kind of mix it up a bit first. So I was attempting to do the mixing up thing, but because the ground was a little bit kind of soggy, it means it went like clay, so it all collected together, which meant that it was a little bit heavier work than I was expecting. But the knock-on effect of that was that at least my arm got to do something that I wasn't expecting, that was a little bit heavier, which now has obviously made me realize that the muscle's aching and it's not the tendon that's aching. So I mean, it's a good thing, just something that I do. And these are the kind of things that I just kind of do. Like if I see a job that needs doing, or like cleaning around the house, if I see that the carpet's a bit dusty, or if there's a dusty table, or if the shower door has some watermarks on it, I just start cleaning things. If I see something in the garden that needs to be done, then I'll quickly do that. But generally, I'm not going to be doing it for hours and hours and hours. It's just something like that, 15 minutes, maybe 20 minutes. I mean, sometimes, when I start cleaning something, I then can't stop cleaning until I have made it look how I want it to look. And I'm not one of these OCD people who, it's like a medical condition. I can, put it to the back of my mind, but I do find that if I see something that needs to be cleaned or organized, or like even with what I'm looking at here, my wires are very organized so that when I look at everything, I can't really see many wires because, I attach them all together and make them all neat so that, you can't really see. It's like having wireless, monitors, but obviously they're not wireless, but kind of I like hiding all the wires and making it look really neat. So I spent a lot of time organizing all the wires on my desk, but I think I just like things to be neat. And when things are neat and tidy and everything is clean, I feel like now I can operate. My brain just feels a little bit freer, to the point where sometimes if I'm thinking about watching a movie, this is a little bit silly, but if I think about watching a movie, I think, let's sit down and watch a movie. But then it might be the case that, before I watch the movie, I want to make the room clean, because then I'm not thinking about cleaning when I'm watching a movie. And actually saying that, I think I get this from my mum, because my mum, whenever there are dishes to clean or things to do in the kitchen, and my dad says, let's watch this on TV, or let's watch that movie, my mum would say, oh no, let me do the washing up first because I want to get it out of the way. But then my dad says, well, no, let's watch the movie and just clean it up after. And so he's got that approach of doing stuff after and let's just, watch a movie. But my mum wants to get everything done to have that freedom to then watch the movie knowing you haven't got to do stuff after. And I think thinking about it, I think I've got that part of the brain that if I can get stuff out the way, I would much rather watch a movie, watch a bit of I don't really tend to ever watch a movie the whole way through because, I'm kind of busy all the time. But I would be too busy cleaning, so I never get around to watching the movie. But anyway, I would rather watch a movie in a clean room because then I can relax and watch the movie rather than thinking about, I've got to clean that or move that out of the way. That's got to go there, and then I've got to move that over there. And having things organised is something that I do like to have because sometimes I need to find things and I need to know exactly where those things are so that I can just get on with everything that I need to do on a daily basis without spending time looking for things. So I do like to keep organised. But anyway, thank you for that, Kim. Again, a long answer to that particular question. But thank you, Geraldine, as well, who has donated £7.76, and that is a straight up donation. And Kevin has donated £1 as well, so thank you for that, Kevin. And the message is, Phil, I would like to wish my dear friend Diana a happy birthday. So thank you for that, Kevin, and a big happy birthday to Diana and everybody in that live chat room. Say big hello to Kevin, but also hello and a huge happy birthday to Diana. I'm sure everybody in that live chat room wishes Diana the best, and I hope you have a great day, Diana. Thank you for that, Kevin. Right. And Bob has donated £10. Thank you for that. Sometimes there's dollars and pounds. I think dollars are mostly in the super chat window. I think on PayPal it does get automatically converted, but then again, sometimes I think that's not the case. But anyway, thank you for this, Bob. It's around £10. And when I say around, I mean in that it's exactly £10. It's not around £10, as in around that kind of figure. Anyway, thank you, Bob. The message is, hi, Phil. The Wings of Pegasus supporters group post-livestream show is the after party. So thank you for that. I think because when I say something like the post-stream get-together, whatever I mention, it throws me off, but it's the after party. So thank you for that, Bob. And reminding me, of course, Robert has donated £38.80. So thank you for that, Robert. And the message is donation. So thank you for that very kind donation. And I think we have just one more coming in, and this is from Joe for £10. So thank you for this, Joe. And the message is just saying thanks for indulging me /us with the Phil jams and tolerating all the crazy backing tracks I send you. So thank you for that, Joe. And no problem at all. I think it's great. I mean, I know that there's not a lot of this kind of thing on YouTube, and that's why I like doing it, just putting on a backing track and jamming along in a live setting and seeing what happens, rather than kind of working something out and having, a chord progression that and then uploading a video. Well, in reference to that recent video that I made, sometimes not even playing and just miming what you've worked out and recorded and then pretending that you're doing it. I like the challenge of just playing, and I do like it when there's no reference point as to what you're playing over the top of, because I think that's like the ultimate challenge, to not even know the key. But I know that on the videos that I click on, I have to look at the screen to make sure that it loads, because sometimes there's an advert, but generally there'll be the key that's written on there. And even kind of the shapes and all the notes and what it suggests you use if you're wanting to practice, but I'm not really kind of interested in that side of things, like the modes and, different scales. I just, like the challenge of trying to sing along mentally to what is going into the ears. So anyway, thank you for that, Joe, and no problem. Right, a few more donations in the super chat window, 10-1 here, so we will jump into the cover video soon, and I can see it's really tight, so keep on getting those votes in there. Orlando donated $5 again, saying, I do not feel George Michael ever received enough credit for being a musical genius. Thanks for analysing him. So no problem. Thank you for that, Orlando. And yeah, I totally agree with that, because, you know, sometimes you'll see him sitting down with a guitar, and, you know, some of the footage in the studio, you know, as a songwriter as well, and just his appreciation of melody and, you know, vocal lines that are just really catchy, really hooky. So yeah, great songwriter, and just an insane level singer. Just his ability, across the board. So yeah, I definitely agree with that. But thank you for that, Orlando. Ron donated $5 as well. Thank you for that, Ron. The message is, hope your tendon is healed. Fingers crossed. Same here. We will see over the next couple of days, but I'm hopeful. Lisa W has donated $5. Thank you for that, Lisa W. The message is, if you start running again, make a video of you going up a tall set of steps, like in the Rocky movies. So thank you for that, Lisa. I don't know how I would achieve that. If I'm running, you would only see it from my point of view, because yeah, there isn't somebody else who can hold the camera. So yeah, I don't know. It's like, oh, I'm going for a run. I'd have to ask somebody, oh, can you come and film me, please, going for a run? So yeah, I don't know how I would achieve that. I have to put the camera miles away, and yeah, somebody might steal it. So maybe looking at some steps, and then I can run up them. And then yeah, I'd have to cut it so that you don't see me running away, running up the steps, and then coming back to the camera to pick it up. So yeah, I'd have to get some kind of production team involved. But anyway, thank you for that, Lisa. Right, we are going to be jumping into tonight's cover video. By the way, 17 more likes we are looking for in order to reach our target for the Pick Roulette likes goal. If you can hit that thumbs up, it'd be much appreciated. If you haven't done that already in the live chat room, we're looking for every single thumbs up we can get to have a Pick Roulette next week. But let's end the poll, and it says actually 50% for In My Dreams, but it said 50% for You Know My Name literally I think a minute ago. So this has been definitely the closest vote we've ever had. It is In My Dreams, I believe, that is gonna be the top pick, and you can see it says 50% on the screen, so really tight for tonight. So I hope you guys enjoy this. It's going to be my version of In My Dreams by Dockham, and so close to You Know My Name, but maybe we can have that in the mix for the next live stream. We will see. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoy this, and I'll see you guys after. Rock! In my dreams, it's still the same. Your love is strong, it still remains. Toss and turn all night in the sheets, and I can't sleep. Night after night, don't know what it means. In my And there we have it. That was my version of In My Dreams by Dockham. Hope you guys enjoyed that one. Thank you for voting for it tonight, and you guys for suggesting it over on Patreon. Let's jump into the pictures now before we then jump into the pick roulette. And just something to mention about the pick roulette before we get into the pictures. Make sure, please, that if you do win the pick roulette, that you give Carla the correct address, and make sure that it's just as exact as you can get it, because there have been a few cases where Carla has sent the pick to the particular winner and the address, and by the way, Carla pays for the postage. So when it arrives there, if the address is wrong and then it has to be sent back, then Carla has to pay for the postage both ways. So make sure that if you do win, that you take care sending your details over to Carla and getting your address, correct. Because, yeah, it is going to be a bit of a nightmare otherwise. So just wanted to mention that while I remember it before we get into the pick roulette. But let's jump into these pictures for tonight. And we just have a couple that we're going to be taking a look at. Right, the first one is going to be, this almost looks like a thumbnail from one of my videos, but this isn't an official video. This is James who has sent this in, but unfortunately we can't really see it. Let me actually see if I can make this smaller. That's a bit better. Right, even though it's obviously too small now, but at least we can see all of it. This has been sent in by James, or Get Some J as he's known in that live chat room. And the thumbnail for this particular video that unfortunately doesn't exist, it says, "Why I love the live feeds." And there's me saying, "Keep trying," because Get Some J is playing the guitar. But of course, there's no best, worst, good or bad. It's all subjective with music. So, I've never said to anybody, keep trying, because it implies that, that there's some kind of gold standard that you've got to reach, but that's never the case. Anyway, thank you for sending that in, James, and for kind of editing it together. Interestingly, it reminds me of something that I was saying. Actually, we'll get into the next picture, but something I was saying a few live streams ago. Let's get into this next one that's been sent in by Evelyn. And this is the signed Wings of Pegasus pick with a picture of some guy with a guitar. So thank you for that, Evelyn, for sending that one in. Right. Yeah, talking about that picture of, looking like I'm having, an opinion or an analysis on Get Some J's guitar playing. Something that I mentioned a few live streams ago, actually at the beginning of the year, was maybe about having something like that, but with guitar players that maybe aren't very well known, or bands, artists that might be looking for more exposure or something like that. Whether we have some kind of episode, maybe like once a month, or I don't know, whether once a week would be too much, but have a particular night where we have that kind of introduction, or like an introducing, I don't even know what we'd call it, but something like that. And it could be a case of doing an analysis video, or an analysis video with, I know that people want feedback on their playing, what they should focus on, all this kind of stuff, and it might be something that I can work in to a video like that, because I do get a lot of emails and messages and videos and links to Spotify and Dropbox and all those kind of things, to have a listen to people's playing. And somebody that might have written a song and they say, "Oh, what do you think of this?" And because I listen to everything and I respond to everything, I'm just wondering whether I can put that in a video, so that when people say, I can do this and this, but what I struggle with is this, or I can't do that, and I need some direction in terms of how do I achieve doing that particular thing. And I get those kind of emails as well. And as a teacher, I just tell them things that they might be able to focus on in order to achieve their goal a little bit more quickly than if they are still kind of shooting in the dark and not really knowing, what do I focus on in order to achieve this thing that I want to be able to do. So yeah, I don't know whether that's something that we can do in the future on the channel. Something that I will be doing, as I've said in the previous live streams, is in the next month, for February, we'll probably have an experimentation with the videos having the mid-roll ads in them. I think I'll just try it out for a little bit of time. Obviously listen to your feedback. We'll try it just for the beginning. Let's say we are literally the first of the month, so it's probably a good time to start it anyway, because then I've got a definite point where I know it then could kick in. Obviously I've still got to set it up, and I'll do that probably after this live stream. But if there are mid-roll ads, how it affects the videos, the video viewing experience for everybody, because I can do that, get your feedback, and if it's something that it isn't too much of an issue, then I know that YouTube are really pushing it, and they've been pushing it a lot for my channel for quite a while, and I know that at some point then probably actually more recently I've noticed that the videos aren't really being focused on as much by YouTube, and I think it is literally the case that I'm one of the very few that's still saying I don't want adverts in my videos, or whenever I can remove them I try to. But it's now getting to the point where I'm pretty sure YouTube is saying, well, if you're not going to have adverts on your videos, then we'll just stop suggesting the videos and unfortunately stop notifying people about your videos so that they go and watch other people's channels who do have more adverts in their videos. So anyway, this is why, over the next few weeks we'll see how it goes. But I think if it does affect the viewing experience too much, and I think it's too much of a negative, then I will roll back just to having things as they were before, as I said and have said in many times in the past. Just the subscriber count that we've got at the moment is great, and that's fine by me. I'll keep making videos for you guys if you keep wanting to see them. So to let you guys know that we will just try that from maybe tomorrow. I'll try and set it up tonight and see what happens with that. Right, we are going to be, let me just close that. It was telling me to put an advert into the live stream. And again, I think that's a little bit hit and miss as well as to whether people see the advert or not. I guess because, I'll start doing it tomorrow. I won't put an advert in tonight. But from tomorrow onwards, because technically this is still Tuesday night as the live stream, even though it's Wednesday morning here. We'll treat this as the 31st of Jan still. Right. We will be jumping into tonight's pick roulette. So I haven't picked a top tip. If you guys want to be the top tip, let me know in the live chat room so that I can pick somebody's name out at random. And of course, we haven't had a top tip that's won yet, but maybe tonight is the night. So I will catch you guys in a second. Rock. So let's get the pick wheel up on screen. There it is. Right, if this is your first live stream or pick roulette, hello, introduce yourself into the live chat room. But we have the darker segments here, which are the t-shirts, and we have a t-shirt roulette if we land on one of those. But we are aiming, the point of this wheel is to give somebody a signed Wings of Pegasus pick. So even if we land on a t-shirt, we're still going to spin again until we land on somebody's name. Right, Vinny Lucci. We're going to be picking Vinny as the top tip for tonight. Vinny Lucci is the top tip. So hopefully, fingers crossed, it'll be the first winner, or the top tip winner, of the pick roulette ever. Let's give the wheel a spin and see who is going to win. The closest we've ever been to a top tip winning is within one segment. And that happened quite recently with Carl. I think it happened once before that. But that's the one that I remember because it was obviously recently. So it doesn't take too much thinking to try and remember. I can see we are slowing down. So we are... Is it going to be on... It's always so difficult to judge. But are we going to be on a t-shirt? It looks like... Is it going to get as far? It might slow down. It might be Donna Leah. And it is Donna Leah who is the winner tonight of the signed Wings of Pegasus pick. So congratulations to you. As I always say, you have to be in it to win it. So make sure you are in that live chat room when the wheel stops. I mean, if it's your name, you have to be in there. So Donna Leah, if you are in there, if you can let yourself be known to Carla, that'd be great, so that she can get everything that she needs from you in order to get that signed Wings of Pegasus pick sent off to you. And again, please double check the address, future winners of the pick roulette, to make sure that you do have the correct address on there for Carla. So commiserations everybody else. As I always say, double your chances of winning by joining in to the live streams on a Tuesday and a Saturday, 12 midnight Greenwich Mean Time. That is the time to tune in. I can see just in that live chat room, I think Donna Leah is in the house somewhere, because I can see everybody saying congratulations Donna Leah, and I think I saw it out the corner of my eye, but it was right at the top of the list, so it had already gone through the live chat room. So yeah, congratulations again Donna Leah, commiserations to everybody else, including Vinny, the top tip for tonight. But we will keep persevering with the top tip, because eventually it's got to happen, hopefully, fingers crossed, at some point. But right, we are now actually going to be opening up the entries for next week's pick roulette, because we have hit the target of 350. We are at 383, so thank you guys for hitting that thumbs up. If you're watching as part of the catch-up crew in the future, you can still hit that thumbs up. It really does help this live stream to get out there and for the channel to grow on the whole. So I can see people are already beating me to it with their entries for next week. So this is what we have to do. Tag Carla Murray in your post, at Carla Murray, and I agree, like that. Enter. And yeah, just copy what everybody else is doing in the live chat room if you haven't got your name on the pick roulette wheel in the past, because yeah, that's just the way to enter. Just tag Carla Murray in your post, type I agree, and just do it once. You only need to do it once. If you do it twice, then that'll cancel your entry. So it's very much like a double click on the thumbs up. If you click once, it goes thumbs up. If you click again, it disappears. So make sure that you only do that once. Tag Carla one time and she will see that, and type I agree. So yes, that'll be happening next Tuesday. Kind of losing track of the days. But yeah, Tuesday and yeah, Saturday. We will be having a pick roulette as well. So yeah, join in to the Saturday live streams. I think on the Tuesdays, it's always a little, well, I was going to say a little less populated, but we're still hitting 350 likes. I think 355 was the target on Saturday. So yeah, I mean, it's great that we're getting now a few more people joining us on a Tuesday as well, which is great. Even though I always call it kind of a school night, you know, a lot of people have work the next day, and especially kind of for the UK, it is a little bit late to be tuning in because it is 1:10 in the morning. But I mean, yeah, even in other countries where the time zones are similar, thank you guys for tuning in. Right, I think it's about time we had a Phil Jam. It's 1:10 here, so let me jump over to the list that we have for the Phil Jam, and I'm just clicking on Joe's message here. Right, we had, I've got to try and remember where we were. So we had the tricky one. I think last time we had the one after the tricky one. When I say tricky one, that's the 11-8 time signature. And now I'm going to click on this one. And there's an advert. Right, so let me mute that. Watch the advert and obviously kind of skip through it. While I'm doing that, I can say that this is from Now You Shred backing tracks. So, the actual full name of the YouTube channel is Now You Shred, and use in capital letters, Now You Shred backing / jam tracks. I think we maybe had one from this channel last time or the time before, but yeah, so you can check this out, and it's a classic Crimson prog rock ballad jam guitar backing track E minor. So that's what we're going to be jumping into. I think every guitarist's favourite key, E minor, leaving that low E string and I string. That's amazing. Again, I've taken the I from string and put it in whatever I just said. I call it the I string. Taken the E from the string. No, I've taken the E, put it in string, and taken the I out of string and called it an I string instead of the high E string. Or maybe I took the I from the high. Oh, I don't know what my brain does sometimes. But anyway, this happens. As you guys will know on the live streams, my brain loves to take letters from words that I don't even know I'm going to say yet. Right, so this is, I think I'd remember if we'd done the Crimson track, or no, in the style of before. So I don't think we've done this one. I think at some point I'm going to click on the wrong one and we would have had it before, but let me check that. Okay, I'm going to have to lean off to the side to actually get right the volume up a little bit. This is going to be again random as to the levels, but let's have a listen to this. And I do have to kind of try and judge it myself as to hearing the backing track and hearing the changes, because if I don't hear those, it's going to be a bit of a nightmare. Okay, and it's not coming through at all at the moment. Why am I not hearing this? Oh, it's because I muted it for the adverts. What an idiot. Let me take that back. And we'll try this. Oh, it's a bit too loud. Don't know what the levels, maybe you can let me know in the live chat room. Sounds like we've got it. I don't think this was the one from last time, but it sounds quite similar to the last one we had. Or at least, you know, the same kind of progression, the same chords. Type I agree, tag Carla Murray in your comment in order to get your name on next week's Pig Roulette Wheel. Let's see how long this is. Oh, it's like 8 minutes in length. We'll keep on going with it, see how we get on. Towards the end, the screen's changed. Still got like a minute. It's going to suddenly stop or do a fade out. I'm hoping it's going to fade out. Hence the holding of notes, waiting for it to go. Oh, and there we go. And it goes into an advert. So it did actually not fade out. So trying to predict it was going to fade out kind of backfired. I should have just kept on playing and then ended when it ended. So anyway, I hope you guys have typed in your I agree in order to tag Carla in your comment. Type I agree, get your name on next week's Pick Roulette wheel. But there we have it and had it. That was the Phil Jam at the end, and yeah, that one was, I think, yeah, it felt really similar to the last one that we did. So yeah, we will see. I think the last one was an E minor as well. Anyway, it's random, so sometimes things will correlate and overlap a little bit. Anyway, yeah, thank you guys for sticking it out this long and for spending your Tuesday night with me. I hope you guys have enjoyed tonight's live stream. I'm going to be back again tomorrow night with a video. I'm going to keep you guys in the loop over on Patreon so that you know what's going on with the video with Phil, because I'm going to be chatting with Phil, I believe, on Friday. So I normally do a video on Friday, but that might not happen. I might just do a video on Friday saying I'm chatting with Phil tonight, so I'm not available to do the video. But we will be live streaming again on Saturday night, of course. And then most likely on Sunday, I'll aim to try and get the video that I'm going to be making with Phil, or recording on Friday, edited for Sunday. But yeah, we will see what happens with that. I'll keep you guys in the loop, as I said. So stay as safe and as sane as you can in this crazy world in which we live in. Have a fantastic rest of the week. Huge shout out to the moderators for doing such a fantastic job on the live streams and, you know, dedicating your time to them. I do appreciate that a lot. And just before we do sign off, I can see that another donation just snuck in there from Valerie for £12.42. So thank you for that, Valerie. And David donated $5 in that super chat window as well. That's a straight up donation. So thank you for those. Right, I'm going to be calling it a night for tonight, but have a good one, and I'll catch you guys at the next one. Rock.